It's his father was an upstart railroad baron. His mother, incidentally, was also. I can't wait for you to fill in whatever that is.
Did I not?
It's such a good opening for a joke. Like whatever it is gonna be, it's like, oh, the setup is there.
I should have finished it though. His
No, but
mother incidentally was
just like he's got to think
also an
about it.
upstart railroad baron.
I mean, there it is. That's funny. His mother, incidentally, was also a train.
1, 2, 3, 4. These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that pops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French.
Oui, oui.
If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners. These boys are the Oscar Wieners.
Yum, yum.
Oscar Wieners.
Welcome to Oscar Wieners,
Yes, indeed.
the only show on the internet where Hollywood's biggest night
Huge.
has a death wish,
No.
is holding the only podcast who's holding its arms out on a horse and it's like, take me, Confederacy. I
God.
don't want to serve in this war any longer.
Can we agree that the opening like 18 minutes of this thing is maybe the most insane piece of cinema that we've covered so far?
I hadn't seen this movie in a decade. I saw it once and I was like,
Mhm.
I forget this is how this movie starts.
I forget this is what the deal is.
Yeah. Um I'm I'm Wolfie.
Ooh. And I'm Michael J. Fox, actually.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
great.
Teen Wolf.
Um
You know what I'm saying?
huh?
He was in Teen Wolf.
Oh yeah. That's good. See, I didn't
Yeah,
get it, but then I got it.
that's all right. Every sharp eagle-eyed viewers will know.
No, I'm Michael, he's Andrew, and this is a podcast where every week we pick a best picture winner at random and try to figure out if it's best picture worthy. And this week we are talking 1991 best picture wiener, Dances with Wolves. The H is silent.
Mm.
Um, Directed by Kevin Costner, his directorial debut, and starring Kevin Costner, if you can believe it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what?
Does he have any clout? Like what's his cachet in this era that
I
he's like
think
I can make a movie and star in it.
I think he has. It's so funny. I'm looking at his letterbox, and it's just like his directorial movies. It's mostly Horizon movies that
It's
need to be made.
crazy. He should have changed the thumbnail.
Um, he's like a star. Like he was in Field of
Yeah,
Dreams the year before.
right.
He when is Bull Durham? He was in Bull Durham, I think was a hit. He's like a guy. He's around. Uh,
Is there a
he's just
modern day comp for him? Like, is he a Bradley Cooper? Is he like a Chalamet?
I don't know. I think Chalamet and Cooper are better actors. I don't know if Kevin Costner's like a great actor. He does his thing and I like watching it, but I wouldn't say he's like a great actor.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
his voiceovers in this, it's funny because he's very much, he is so out of time. Like, everyone else is, playing in a period movie, and I feel like he's just very much Kevin Costner as if he just went to go pick up a coffee from his local spot in LA.
Yeah. He feels like a little boy playing a cowboy.
Yeah, I could see that.
Um his voiceover is
They're very funny.
obscene.
I don't let him see.
It's so clunky, basically unnecessary. Um,
I kind of like, well, I like it as a device because I like that he's explaining his innermost thoughts. It's almost like reading a book, actually, that we get some of his narration, but
yeah,
it's delivered in a rather comical
it's
fashion.
so like stilted and awkward.
Yeah.
All right, but
Yeah.
what is the film about before we go deeper? It is um now John, the fuck am I
Yeah.
talking about? John John, my name's John.
That could be a Star
Uh
Wars character.
yeah, that's pretty good. Dunbar, played by Kevin Costner. He's a wounded Union soldier during the Civil War. Um, the movie opens with him trying to get killed. Um, he
The movie
doesn't.
opens. He's on. Can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah,
He's on an operating table. He's about to lose his leg. The doctors are like, "Man, we can't do surgery on this guy. I need a coffee first." And then he's like, "I'm just gonna put my boot on and just go out there and ride and hopefully somebody shoots me." And nobody does. The Confederacy, let it be known, they suck ass at
they have the aim
everything.
of stormtroopers.
Yeah,
They
they're
cannot hit
terrible.
a fucking the broadside of a barn.
Kevin Costner is on his horse like this,
Yeah,
begging to be shot, and then everybody misses him,
they
and
can't
they're
even hit
like,
his horse.
"No, they can't hit his horse," and they're like plugging their guns. They're like, "Run through again, we'll get you this time," and then he does, and they still miss him,
Yeah.
and then he's a hero because Union soldiers flank them from another side and like take their position.
I kind of like the portrayal of the in that open. It's only in that opening scene, but the portrayal of the relationship between the Union and Confederate soldiers, because like they're sort of like casual. It's almost like they're like just kind of fucking around in that field. Like occasionally one of them will shoot, and they'll be like, "You missed," and I'm like, this is
Yeah.
kind of. It's like, oh yeah, because these guys probably like kind of know each other, maybe. Like they might be like family members or like cousins or something, or like,
That's a fair point. I mean, they
um,
also, I mean, they have uh, the mutual desire for life and to survive. I think
of course,
so. They're
naturally,
just like it is kind of funny because one of the Union soldiers is like, "Yeah, we've been here for 3 days and we're just kind of like tossing shots back and forth. Nothing's really happening."
yeah. Um, so after Kevin Costner successfully doesn't die, um, I forget that he wants to be dead because of the because the doctor's like, we're gonna have to get like take that leg off.
That
And then
seems to be the impetus. Yeah,
yeah, then he looks over at like another guy who like had to get a leg amputated, or like no, it's a guy I think like walking on crutches or something with an amputated leg, and he's like, fuck that.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, so he doesn't get killed. Um,
He's a hero.
a general like sees what he did and is like, I'm gonna get you my doctor, and they're gonna make sure you keep that leg. And I'm like, it's as easy as that.
Yeah, so he does keep the
You had
leg.
doctors that are like better on standby. Like I get like, resources are spread thin, but like Jesus.
Yeah, the general who will never be injured once during this entire war has his own special doctor.
Yeah, he's just gonna stand on a hill and watch people
Yeah,
die, and like
this man
he has the
was
best doctor.
Kevin Costner was suicidal for God's sakes.
Yeah.
They could
Yeah,
have just
so
fixed his leg.
so he's like, you're a hero for that for some reason, even though you didn't shoot anybody or do anything. You just kind of tried to get killed and didn't. So pick whatever post you want. I'm gonna let you go anywhere you want. And he's like, take me somewhere where there's nobody. I want to be
Yeah,
alone. I don't want to have any. I don't want there to be any potential of conflict with like Confederate soldiers. I just want to be fucking a farmer by myself.
is that his motive though? I think one of the biggest flaws in this movie is that I don't know why Kevin Costner has this fixation on the frontier. I should stop saying Kevin Costner. What's his name?
No, you can say Kevin
John.
Costner. He's playing himself basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Lieutenant John J. Dunbar. I don't know why John is so fixated on the frontier and like where he gets these naturalistic instincts where he loves nature and the outdoors so much. It's never really explained. I mean, maybe in the 4 hour version it is, but not here.
It is a good point. Um, yeah, I just took it as like he's like done with being in the war, but he does have that line in the voiceover of like, "I wanted to see the frontier before it was gone," or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, but why?
That was in the back of my head the entire proceedings of the film.
Because then, like a big moment in the movie, in the voiceover, especially, it's maybe like halfway through. He's like, I realize, like when he eventually gets like integrated with the is it are they Sioux? Yeah, the Sioux Native Americans who are like nearby, who like sort of it's their land.
Yeah.
He says like once he gets integrated with them, he's like, I realize that I I didn't know who I was before I was a part of this tribe. Like I didn't really have an identity. I didn't like have a self. Um and being with them has brought who I really am out. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. But it's like, but you did want to see the frontier. So yeah, I agree. It's like his character is very thinly sketched. Maybe
Yeah.
because it's like he's sort of like nothing and then he becomes something. He like develops values, develops
But he
like
does
yeah.
have the inclination to, break bread with the Sioux tribe. Like he could have just stayed in his little house and waited for more Union soldiers to arrive and just be a soldier, and that's it. But he clearly did not want any part of that life.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of unclear why.
It is
Also,
unclear why.
freaking Timmons is there. He's not alone. Don't say he's alone because Timmons is there.
Is that the horse? Who is that?
Timmons is his guide. That
Oh
like,
yeah, the guy who's fucking brutally murdered by like what is the
yeah,
name of the
nobody cares.
yeah, there's the other tribe that's like violent,
The Pawnee.
the Pawnee. Yeah. Yeah, well, I also want to talk about before he gets to the homestead or whatever, the like kind of little shanty base.
Mm-hmm.
When he gets to like the town that he's gonna leave out of, the guy, the like union guy who like is like signing his papers or whatever, what's his
Major.
deal? He like farts, he's like burping, he's
I
being like really like coy with Kevin Costner, but it seems like he's having a nervous breakdown. Because
Major
then when
Fambro.
yeah, and then when Costner leaves, the dude like kills himself.
This is perhaps one of the all-time great bit roles in movies, I think. He drops two of the hardest lines in cinema and then dies.
What does he say?
He says, well, so he's signing the papers. I'm like, what does this guy
Yeah,
feel? I watched this a bunch of times.
yeah.
He's signing it like this, and he gives him like a weird little salute. And then Kevin Costner gets up to leave, and he stands up and says very nobly, he says, I've just pissed in my pants and nobody can do anything about it.
Oh
And Kevin Costner's like, okay. And he leaves. And then he says, he's watching him go and he goes, the king is dead, long live the king. And then he shoots himself in the head. I don't know I don't know. I was cracking up. Like he was the funniest character until he became the saddest character so
yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
Like obviously his mind was not all there. I don't know if he was just like rotting away from being in this weird little outpost that's been forgotten, or
Yeah.
I don't know. But no explanation is given for him. He's just
Yeah.
kind of like this strange man.
I mean, the movie's based on a book. Um,
Oh, it is?
yeah, what the fuck's the guy?
Oh
Because
my God.
it's based on the Michael Blake novel. I believe it's a novel, and Michael Blake also wrote the script to this movie. And a lot of, I mean, the movie's already 3 hours, but it has like the ancillary sort of like tertiary characters of a novel where it's like somebody just pops in for a second, and you're like, that guy had a lot of energy. Can he stick around? It's like, no, he's dead. He killed himself.
That's one of the crazy things about turning a book into a movie. It's like you want to capture it all, but also sometimes you just got to cut back. If it's not going to be fully fleshed out, well, I'm glad that they didn't cut him because that was maybe the most interesting part of the movie. But weird to just not have any more information on him at all.
Yeah. Did you
But
like this movie?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
I thought it had its flaws, but I would say it was a good watchable movie, even for as long. It was definitely it felt every bit of the 3 hours runtime.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought it was good. I thought it was well made. I think Kevin Costner was. It's a nice story.
I think this movie's like solid. I loved it the first time I saw it, but I was also
Mm.
like I feel like when I was younger and I would see movies like classics or just basically any movie that I would like had some kind of like expectations for, I would be like masterpiece. Because I think I was trying to figure out like what like how to have a criteria for stuff, how to have like
Yeah.
taste. And
What
I
do
was like,
you
oh,
like?
everything's good that's coming in, and then it's like, oh, later on, I was like, no, I don't like this, I don't like that, or I like this, I like that.
That's
Um,
why I think it's important to watch movies that you might not necessarily like because on the one hand you'll realize very quickly what it is about those movies you don't like, and on the other side, you might find something that you didn't realize you do like.
totally. Um, yeah, I completely agree. And I liked watching this movie. I do think it's, it's definitely certainly does feel 3 hours.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like well made. I love a Western. Um, this is certainly not, one of my favorite Westerns, but I do think it's a solid little Western.
It definitely looks beautiful. I love the
Yeah,
choice of shots that they made.
yeah,
The setting is very beautiful. It's just like the West, just like the unsettled West is very nice to see. And it did remind me of Avatar. Like I get where they pulled some of these things from. It's like, okay, let's be very visual. Let's really depict the world that we're trying to convey. Um, and I guess that kind of leans into what Kevin Costner liked about. Like it kind of show like you can see him falling in love with the nature and the world around him.
yeah. It does do a good job of that. You can also just like it's also it's really good at like just kind of to add to that point. It's really good at like it's like yeah, everybody he encounters before he encounters the Sioux like is either fine to bad. And then when
Yeah.
he and like they don't everybody's like sort of feels like disconnected from each other and like doesn't really care like it's sort of like oh it's a brutal world and but then like when he meets the Sioux tribe it's like oh these people are like very like communal, they like really take care of each other, like there's like a lot of joy
Yeah.
here whereas
It's like
like
what
in the
is
fucking military there isn't.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean let's
What did you think of the romance between him and Stans with the fist?
it's kind of weird but like
I think
I'm
it's nice.
yeah, it's nice. It's not bad. It's better that he falls in love with a white lady than,
But at the same time, it's weird that like why is she that like I mean obviously they explain why she's there, but it's like she's the token white lady in this whole it's very funny to me because I don't know, like what are the odds that he's gonna fall in love with the one white woman in this Native American tribe?
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it inherently. It's just like
No,
the
it's a good
odds
point.
were crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Stands with a Fist played by Mary McDonnell. Um, you know what I know I like the relationship between Kicking Bird and Costner. Kicking Bird played by Graham Greene. He's like the
Yeah,
main kind of Sue character, I'd say.
he's like the father-in-law. He's like the kind father-in-law.
Yeah, right, totally. I think Graham Greene's really good. Uh, um, I don't know. This movie's so it's a lot of just like like large portion of just hanging out with like the Sioux
Yeah,
tribe,
most
which
of
is
it is
like
just like
good.
hanging out. Yeah, you got to build that connection.
Yeah, but like there isn't
Um,
a lot of like plot to really dig into. It's just sort of like, oh yeah, Kevin Costner slowly becomes integrated and they accept him and he like finds that he's more comfortable with them than he is like in the world he comes from.
there
Um
are there are fun. I mean, there are fun goings on. Like I like when he's finally invited to one of their events, and they teach him some of their dances, and then he's at home in his own little shack, and he's doing the dance by himself. I like that.
what do you think of the buffalo hunting sequence?
It's really cool. It kind of show it very quickly shows you. It pulls us from that just hanging out bit,
Yeah.
because you see evidence of frontier hunters, or maybe they're soldiers who have clearly chased away and killed all these buffalo, and now like things aren't so nice anymore. Like you can see like these two different cultures are going to clash. But then there's the scene where they track down a fresh herd of buffalo, and then I like when they all have their bows and arrows. The Costner going around with his rifle, just gunning people down.
It's kind of
Um,
crazy to see the star and director of a movie riding a horse so fast and also shooting like a gun. Like I even if it's, there's no bullets in it, like Costner's really riding that horse. And I'm like, if this fucker falls off, this movie has to be shut down.
that's the credits if he falls off.
Yeah. He's the
That's it.
director and star.
Yeah.
You can't not have both of those.
No. Um, but I do like that sequence because it's fun that they're all you. There's almost like a little bit of tension. You're worried that because some of the members of the tribe are hesitant and reluctant to welcome him in. Um, and that's kind of like the breaking bread sequence where like they've truly accepted him. He's almost like a local celebrity because he found the buffalo. It's clear that he cares about these people. Um, and it's kind of nice. Like all the kids are like, "Oh, there he is." They give him, a Sioux name, and they're just kind of doing their thing, hanging out.
I appreciate that it's a movie that doesn't. Kevin Costner's a very old-fashioned director. Like obviously he all of the movies he's directed are westerns.
Really?
Yeah. Like he's very old fashioned. Like he obviously likes doing his Western shit. And and he's like, I want to just make like a fucking old school epic. And I kind of admire that. Because there's nothing cool about it, but he's like, this is what I like. Um,
If I'm, if I got no, if I know nothing about Dances with Wolves going into this thing, would you recommend that I watch this? Like, if you're talking to like your 16-year-old cousin, are you like you should check out Dances with Wolves?
no.
No, huh? Like, is
I,
there like any of your friends? Are you like, oh, are you like, oh, I watched Dances with Wolves last night? Or are you kind of like,
no.
nah?
I'd recommend it to like an older person who hasn't seen the movie.
I'd recommend it to Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
He would love it.
It's just like, I don't
I mean,
think it
James
really.
Cameron obviously loved it.
I can't imagine Gen Alpha watching this and not dunking on it the whole time.
Yeah.
Even
Um,
even just like the trope of like the white guy being integrated into like, a group of people of color is
it's
so
a
like
classic.
I don't listen, I'm a white guy. To me, the movie actually like was I was surprised at how problematic it wasn't.
Yeah.
Again, that's through my fucking stupid little eyes. But I still think that trope, people are just sort of like, ugh. Like even when
It,
Avatar came out, people were like, ugh.
and it's
Um,
funny because like that's a completely fictional. Like those people don't exist.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
If
but
anything,
yes,
Avatar
it
is
is.
worse because it's like, oh, Jake Sully literally takes the body of a
Yeah, that
Na'vi,
is
and
kind
that's
of
like
crazy.
that has like weird implications.
Like if the Na'vi were real, they'd be pissed. They'd be like,
Yeah,
"This is a crazy depiction of us."
yeah.
Um, this is, I mean, listen, Dancing with Wolves is it's a classic. It is a bit white savory because
Yeah.
he literally saves them. Um, but I don't know. I mean, like it's good natured. Like there's nothing bad. Um, Kevin Costner's heart's in the right place at least.
Yeah, I think his intentions are pure.
Yeah, I mean, like I kind of like how the soldiers were depicted. Like they're almost like not even soldiers anymore. They're just like weird conquerors. They're just like they they come laying claim to this land that is not theirs even a little bit. Um, and they're just destroying everything. The one guy literally shits in his journal. Which is
Yeah.
nuts. You're like,
Yeah.
Spider, can you read? It's like
It's
wiping his ass with a page that says "I love you," standing with fist or something. It's like a love note to his girlfriend.
it's so
Just,
I'll
just
tell
think
you,
a blank page.
yeah. What I love about the last like
It
35
obviously
minutes
says something. Yeah,
is it's such a come down. Like you almost the movie
yeah,
almost makes you forget that the Union coming to this outpost is like gonna be an issue.
yeah,
Because you're so just like in the energy of like the Sioux tribe. And then like when they get there, it's like, oh yeah, this sucks.
yeah. This
They suck. I also like that like, these are like northern soldiers, but like they're still portrayed as fucking assholes anyway. Like they
yeah,
also fucking suck and are like
right.
racist and like like you said, conquerors and whatever.
I mean, even Kevin Costner forgets that they're coming.
Yeah,
He kind of just pushes it to the back of his mind. He doesn't. I mean, kind of a dick move. He doesn't tell anybody.
yeah.
Like he got asked directly by Kickingbird, and he's like, "How many more white men are coming?" He's like, "I don't know, like two or three." It's like,
And they're all
okay,
like me. They're all really nice
yeah,
and
we're just a
curious.
bunch of pals.
Yeah. But then I think eventually he's like, I gotta tell you, they're not. They're gonna come. They're gonna come. The white men start coming, and they don't stop coming.
Back to the rules, and they hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Literally the night
So
before that they showed up. By the way,
yeah, like
he's like, "Actually, we should probably move the
talk about
village."
fucking timing.
Yeah, the village out there, just like hanging out in the teepee, and like the elders like, "Hey, what are you thinking about? You're kind of quiet over there, Kevin Costner." And he's just like, "I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we should just like move the village before hundreds of white soldiers come and mess everything up."
they're like,
Just a thought. I don't know.
they're like, what?
Yeah, they're like, "I guess we have to now because that sucks."
Yeah. Yeah, so like that, that whole the kind of like final act of this 5 act movie,
Yeah,
where the Union soldiers like they discover Kevin Costner are like he's dressed in like Sioux adornments. Um
yeah, and they think
and
he's part of it.
I
Well, I
for,
mean, he is technically.
yeah, first they think he's part of the Sioux, and then they're like, oh,
Yeah,
this is like one of our guys, which makes them hate him more.
yeah, they
Um
hate him.
yeah,
It's
and
crazy how much they hate. Like they're. I mean, I kind of thought they'd be like, oh, step back. He's a soldier. He's a soldier. But no, they don't care about him at all. They think he sucks.
yeah, um and they're like sort of like aren't what do they do? They like are like beating the shit out of him trying to figure out where the Sioux are. Is that what it is?
They're trying to make him be translator because they want to go talk to the Sioux,
Right.
obviously. Um,
Probably just have a nice conversation, I guess, right? Like a nice,
yeah,
cordial,
yeah,
friendly
just like a little
conversation.
like, hey,
Very
we're just gonna
respectful.
like, yeah, we're just gonna like hang out over here, but we're gonna keep to ourselves. You guys, you got all this land. You should keep that. You should totally keep that. You here first. But we just like, there's a war going on. We just kind of need to be stationed here, but we just
Yeah.
want to make sure that we have a respectful relationship going forward.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Um, yeah, so then they're gonna transport when Costner is like, no, I'm not giving you shit. They're like, all right, we're gonna transport you to like some prison or whatever. Like we're gonna take you like many miles away or
They're gonna
whatever.
hang
Like,
you,
yeah, they're gonna hang you. They're gonna
which is
try
a
you and hang you.
crazy come down. He was a hero, and now they're like, yeah, actually, we're gonna put you on trial and probably hang you.
Yeah. And then on the way, some of the Sioux, like some of the members of the Sioux tribe that he, is now a part of, basically. One of them, I think, is let's see, Wind in His Hair, played by Rodney Grant, who's like the guy who doesn't like him at first, and then is eventually like we're like best friends. I thought that was
Yeah,
like very nice.
such a bro.
Yeah. I think he's there. I don't think there's any like main characters that like we know other than him. It's just like people of the tribe are coming and they save Costner. They
Yeah,
kill all these Union soldiers. There's like a big fight. Um and then Costner returns and he's like, I gotta leave because these fuckers aren't gonna stop coming after me. Which like in my head I'm a
yeah,
little bit like, is that right? Because like
probably
why
not.
would they care that much about you?
They definitely would not. And
Like,
even I think even Kicking Bird said that he was like, they probably don't care about you, and he's like, no, they do. I gotta go. They're gonna hunt you to the ends of the earth if I'm with you.
yeah.
They're like, no, don't go. He's like, no, I have to. It's for the tribe. I'm like, all right, whatever. It seems like you're hell bent on this. So
It's like I get that his character, it's like the growth needs to be that he's willing to sacrifice himself genuinely for
yeah,
the Sioux, whereas like he never would have done that for the Union, like at all. It's like that's like the growth of his character, but it is a
right.
little sweaty of like, I don't think you have to go. He's like, no, I really do. It's like, I don't really think you have to.
It makes it seem. I mean, obviously it is a movie, but that's like such a movie ending.
Yeah.
He's
Um,
like, I just gotta be a hero.
yeah.
Like, all right, dude, whatever helps you self actualize, I guess.
Glad we could be part of your growth, white man. Um, and he takes Mary McDonald with them, and then like the last shot is them like sort of riding up this like steep incline, and like
Yeah,
it's a long zoom, slowly out,
long zoom,
long
just a
zoom,
big old zoom,
big old zoom.
big old zoom. It
Um,
does bother me at the end when what is his name? The guy who was not his friend and then became his friend.
uh, Wind in His Hair.
Yeah, wind in his hair. The part where he's like, he's saying goodbye to him as he's leaving. What is he? What is his name? I forget what his.
Costner.
Yeah, what's his Sioux name that they give him?
Are you serious?
Yes.
What's the movie we're discussing?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Forgot about that. Yeah, we didn't even mention the wolf. There's a wolf
That
in
he
this movie
fucking is
called
hanging
Two
out with.
Socks.
Yeah, he's
That's
got
the
a
whole part of
great
this.
wolf and a great horse.
Yeah, he
They
should not
are,
be. He should not be talking to that wolf. By the way, if you watch this movie and you're like, "Let's be friends with wolves," don't. That wolf in real life would have eaten him in a second.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, his friend is just chanting "dances with wolves," right? And then
yeah.
he gets no reaction back. Costa's just sitting there, like hands in his pockets, like sucks. I gotta go, but
Right.
I gotta be a hero.
Yeah, Wind in His Hair goes to like the top of like this fucking cliff. He climbed all the way up there just to like
Yeah,
fucking chant his name and like send him off. And then Costner's like just looking up at him like fucking
almost like stop doing that. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, this is so embarrassing. just wave or pump your fist or do something. It was bothering me so much.
yeah.
Your friend wants to say goodbye to you. Say goodbye back.
Do you have any other thoughts to close out this
Yeah, I
episode?
just want to say, wouldn't it be
Don't, man.
funny? Well, I feel like there's such a trope of, and Out of Africa did this too, of person who's an explorer who always has these really intricate illustrations in their journal. I think it'd be funny if they just like cut to Kevin Costner writing his journal and he just sucks at draw. Like he's just drawing stick figures. This illustrations suck.
I thought that I didn't like. I thought the same thing where I was like, his drawings are too nice. There's no way he's that good at drawing.
How are all these people so good at drawing? Right, like
Yeah,
it'd be funny if they just shit drawings. Like it's
yeah,
just slow pen over his shoulders, drawing scribbles.
like
Three
fucking
socks
stick
is like
figures.
a little dog with like four legs, four sticks for legs.
Yeah, it's so true.
I I liked watching this. I thought it was
Okay,
good.
that's good.
I don't think I'll watch it again. And I'm not bragging about, hey, I saw Dance. Like if AMC did like a limited run of Dances with Wolves for some weird reason, I would not go see. I wouldn't be like, ooh, gotta go see DWW.
Yeah, I agree. I I don't know that I'll ever see this movie again. Um, which is kind of sad. Sometimes I think about that
Not
where it's
really.
like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever watch this movie again. It's like that's crazy. I don't
Yeah, that's what
know.
life is like. There will always be a last time you did something.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's not
Um,
sad. Just embrace every experience that you have as if it's your last, and then you'll cherish those memories forever. Just like we will cherish Dances with Wolves.
Ander,
Hi.
we all know that Dances with Wolves won Best Picture.
We sure do. We've established that. Yeah.
Do you want to hear the other nominees in the year of 1991?
I would love to.
Awakenings, directed by Penny Marshall, um, a great director. She
Oh,
directed Big and A League of Their Own, two
oh,
very good movies.
cool.
Um, it stars, if you can believe it, Robert De Niro
I buy it.
and Robin Williams.
Whoa.
Robin Williams plays Dr. Malcolm Sayer, a shy research physician who uses an experimental drug to awaken the catatonic victims of a rare disease.
Mm.
Leonard, who's De Niro, is the first patient to receive the controversial treatment. His awakening, filled with awe and enthusiasm, proves a rebirth for Sayer, too, as the exuberant patient reveals life's simple but unutterably sweet pleasures to the introverted doctor.
Huh. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
It sounds nice. It sounds like, although it sounds like it doesn't have any conflict in it. Like, where's the
Yeah,
conflict? Where is that going to, is it just nice stuff?
totally, probably. I
All
mean,
right.
I feel like I don't know if I can't remember if we've covered one. I feel like every once in a while there's like one of these big movies that's like it's almost like some directors like we have to reaffirm why we're doing this, and by this I mean being alive at all. I need to make a movie about why life matters.
Okay.
Um,
Fair enough.
that sounds like that kind of movie where it's just like fucking Robin Williams is like, I don't like ice cream, and De Niro's like, have you tried fucking ice cream? Put this fucking spoon in your mouth with vanilla ice cream, or you're gonna fucking lose your mind. I swear to God.
And he does.
He does. And then
Spoiler
Robin
alert,
Williams
he
is like,
does.
yeah, then Robin Williams is like, holy shit, why haven't I been eating ice cream?
Should have been eating ice cream this whole time. You're right.
Um,
We need some life affirming movies.
yeah, I think we need one of those once in a while.
Yeah.
All
Coming
right.
from two, and that's a review from two guys who haven't seen it.
It's like a deeply offensive, like horrible movie. We're like,
So-
oh shit. Sorry we said Awakenings was probably good. Um, next up we have a Jerry Zucker joint. It is Ghost.
Oh, it sways.
Yeah, starring Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore.
Oh,
A movie I've never seen.
it's one of those
Um,
ones where, yeah, maybe I don't get the gist of it, but like it's got iconic moments where you're like, ah, maybe I don't need to see this. I feel like
yeah,
it's
like
been
the
referenced
pottery
in pop.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the premise of Ghost. After a young man is murdered, his spirit stays behind, not warm, warn with an N, his
Mhm.
lover of impending danger with the help of a reluctant psychic, who, the psychic is played by Goldberg, I assume.
Also, Swayze's the ghost.
Swayze's the ghost, Demi Moore is the lover.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I'd like to see it one day. I'm sure I will. Have you
You gotta be in a
seen?
weird mood to be like, "I'm watching Ghost tonight,
That's true.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Have you seen Dirty Dancing?
No.
It's a
Some
masterpiece.
clues. Okay.
It's with Swayze. You should see Dirty Dancing.
All right. It's one of
Um,
those.
Next up, we have I don't know if you've heard of this one, The Godfather Part 3,
Whoa.
a movie I've never seen.
Oh, so it was nominated. I
It was
kind of thought it
nominated.
was like the way I hear about it talked about is always it's a trash bin movie. That
I
sucked.
I haven't seen it, obviously, but I think the way people talk about it is kind of crazy. And I also think I truly think it's just like, well, Godfather 1 and 2 are like two of the best movies ever made, and Godfather Part 3 is just like good. So it's like
Also,
that metric is like, oh, so it's like a stinky poo poo diarrhea movie.
it's like no, it was actually
Yeah, it's like
really
three and
good
a half
critically
stars out of
acclaimed
five.
movie.
It's like pretty
Yeah.
good.
I didn't expect it to pop up in this time period.
Yeah.
1990?
Yeah, it's
1991?
16 years later after the second movie. Um
Well, the second movie came out when? The
70,
80s?
74. Yeah, I gotta see it too. It's also Coppola's one of those directors that he hasn't touched the other two Godfathers, but like he has a few movies in his filmography where he goes back pretty often and will re-edit them. Like every like couple years, like, oh, there's like a new cut of The Godfather Part 3. Like one just came out, I think, last year. That's like a little
Whoa.
bit shorter, and I think like scenes are rearranged. Um, yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it's particularly the movies where he's like, I didn't crack that.
Huh.
Like, um, I think One from the Heart is another movie that he goes back and re-edits a lot. Can't remember. I haven't seen a lot of Coppola, honestly. I've seen the ones that everybody has seen, but at
It'd
one
be
point I
funny
didn't.
if he shot new footage for it
That would be crazy.
and just placed it in.
It's fucking Pacino, just like
Yeah. But modern
now.
day. Yeah.
Yeah. My eyes see Oppenheimer. He cuts that in.
No, I'll watch it. I've never seen the first two.
Okay, we have episodes to do on Godfather Part 1 and Part 2. Don't watch 3
Well, you
before
can't
that.
tell me not to watch part. I could still do it.
You could do it. I'm just asking you, please don't.
Fine.
I'm not gonna make you, but and finally, this okay. This is like the best movie ever made.
What?
We have Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas.
Oh, with the four kids who discover that pirate shit?
What about the Goonies?
Oh, no, not as the Goonies.
Goodfellas is like the best movie that's ever been made by a person. Okay?
Wait, what? This is your opinion?
Not actually. It's my favorite Scorsese. It's one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
It's a perfect film.
Just dial it back, all right? Don't say things you don't mean.
This whole podcast is me
Unless
saying
it's
things I
really
don't
the
mean.
unless it's really your favorite number one A-list film.
I think it's a contender for the best American film in
Wow,
history
okay.
so far. Um,
If it's not clear, I haven't seen it.
yeah,
Yeah. It's on my list.
it's amazing. It should have won. It's kind of crazy that it didn't. And it's about, I mean, the true story of Henry Hill, a half Irish, half Sicilian Brooklyn kid who was adopted by neighborhood gangsters at an early age and climbs the ranks of a mafia family under the guidance of Jimmy Conway.
Classic.
De Niro's here, Pesci's here,
Hey.
Ray Liotta fucking rocks, Lorraine Bracco's here, fucking absolutely burning the house down. Paul Sorvino cuts garlic with a little razor blade. It looks so juicy.
It's my favorite. Did they ever make a sequel?
The Goodfellas?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Is that a ridiculous statement?
Yeah, it's called Great Fellas.
That's the best thing you've said on this show for sure. Far and away.
That was
It. Yeah. That's the peak of this show. It's Great Fellas.
wow.
Somebody should make that. Marty, come on the show.
So those are the nominees.
Nice.
Scorsese, come on the show anytime you like. I'm sure like you'd love to talk about fucking
What movie do you think he would want to be on for?
some old shit.
Yeah,
Let's
probably.
let's find it. Honestly, probably would have loved to be on the the On the Waterfront episode.
Oh yeah,
You
I
know,
can
we
see
should get
that.
him on for Marty
We should get him on. What's
because
Is that a real movie?
that's a real movie with Ernest Borgnine.
That would be really
Uh,
funny.
we
Reach
should
out to
get
his people.
yeah, we should get him on for that.
He would love that.
Next week we're gonna talk Marty.
With fingers crossed, Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, I'll announce it again at the end of the episode, but
All right,
just a
cool.
little tease. We may be talking 1955 or whatever's Marty next
All
week.
right, sweet, awesome. Michael, my friend,
Yeah,
would you like to hear the truth about Dances with Wolves? Oscar
yeah,
Best Picture winning Dances with Wolves.
100%.
I found a few reviews, not too many. I was selected this time. I found some good ones, some good reviews from the internet, from people who have seen Dances with Wolves, similar to us. Um, some mixed opinions overall. Um, give me the name of. Ooh, if you had a wolf, what would you name your wolf?
Dean
Stockwell.
Dean Stockwell.
Dean Stockwell, the wolf, says 1 star. Dean, worse than the theater version. If you like being preached at nonstop for not being a Native American, then this is the movie for you. You thought it was a bit too much in the theater version? This one amped up the PCism to the nth degree. Sometimes if I don't like something, I'll give it away to someone who might. But I threw this out because I didn't want anyone else to suffer through it either. And I liked Dances with Wolves back in the day, enough that I've watched it quite a few times. Now I'm just tired of the PC explosion Hollywood keeps giving us. Who knew they cut it back for the movies version? Thank you for that.
That makes me curious to watch the extended cut. Maybe I'll watch the extended cut at one more time in my life, and then I'll put Dances with Wolves to
I
bed for good.
So some of the reviews I came across have reviewed that version, and the sense I get is that it's a lot of gratuitous shots of Kevin Costner just like leafing through wheatgrass and whatnot. It doesn't seem like it's that substantial, but give it a spin. Who knows?
I think it's so funny to be mad at a movie that was made 30 years ago and be like, God, PC culture is taking over.
That's a great point. Actually, this movie came out 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
Um, very good point. Dean, get your act together.
Stockwell.
Give me the name of someone who's painting a house. Painting a house teal, actually.
Joe Pesci.
Ooh. Famed house painter Joe Pesci says 4 stars for Dances with Wolves. It's really cool how much Costner loves this stuff. It's the closest thing to your dad getting. It's the closest thing to your dad getting to make a movie, except it's actually good. Uh, what Costner lacks as a voiceover performer, he more than makes up for as director, and he's hired the best artists to make it all work. And forgetting how good I find the film, I just can't imagine another A-list movie star choosing to make their directorial debut with something this intentionally slow. The gall of him. That is a bold choice. Biggest complaint, there's one fart sound effect that so obviously sounds like it was recorded indoors. Ain't no sound booths on the prairie. Good point. Because I know the exact moment he's talking about. And yeah, it just sounded like it was stock.
Um,
It is kind of like what kind of movie do you think your dad would make in his directorial debut?
I think like a Western or something, or maybe like
There you
some
go.
kind of crime movie, like Cops and Robbers kind of thing.
Yeah. That'd
But
be cool.
it would be bad.
So shout respect to Costner. He made it good.
I mean, Horizon, his newest movie, is like the ultimate dad movie.
Check out all 6 installments coming to a theater near
There's
you.
only 4, smart
I'm
ass.
sorry. Sorry. They're all 3 hours long, too. Give me the name of somebody who's chewing gum furiously right now. Just seething.
Lemon
Nice.
Snot.
Ooh, good name. Lemon Snot says 1 measly little star. The movie would have been perfect if I was a native Sioux Indian. It The movie itself is a 5-star movie, but my rating is based on the fact that half the movie is spoken in the Sioux language and there were no subtitles. The movie would have been perfect if I was a native Sioux. Even though I purchased the movie for a modest sum, I still feel ripped off.
There were subtitles for sure.
Which makes me think that maybe you actually did get ripped off because there should have been subtitles.
Yeah, like did he watch like a torrented version?
I don't know. But for God's sakes, if you're going to come to this country, speak English. Am I right, everybody?
I don't know. It's stupid. There were for sure subtitles. I actually I was sort of like, I think it's like a little bit audacious for this movie to have as much like of the Sioux language as there is.
I mean, it's the appropriate amount. Like you should feature a lot of the Sioux. Like it'd be crazy if they were like speaking English or like French or something.
Well, that's like
that'd be insane.
That would be like the choice that like, maybe like fucking 70 years ago they would make or whatever. But
that's
like
crazy though. That makes no sense. Like I mean, they had their own language. They should we should be depicting that in as true to reality as it was.
That reviewer's an idiot.
Yeah, go.
Lemon Snot is a fucking dumbass. Learn to fucking toggle the subtitle button on your fucking streamer, you dumbass.
Nice, dude. We got him. If you're gonna leave a bogus review like that, you are not safe on this show.
That goes out to all of you.
Pay attention, god damn it. All right.
Is that it?
That's all.
All right. Thank you for those. As I said, next week we're talking. I'm gonna say it's 1957 Best Picture winner Marty, starring Ernest Borgnine.
I'm pretty excited for this.
I hear it's really good. I'm excited to watch that movie. I think it's.
Oh wait, stars Mermaid Man?
It stars Mermaid Man.
Cool.
It is blessedly. It's on Tubi for free.
Nice.
It's blessedly 90 clean minutes.
Wow. That's unbeatable.
Yeah. I feel like the last few episodes, like we had Patton, which was almost 3 hours. From Here to Eternity was under 2, but still.
Yeah.
Then this is 3 hours. It's nice to just get back to a fucking 90-minute ass movie.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to see who Marty is, and hopefully he's a cool guy.
Yeah. It's directed by somebody named Delbert Mann, if you could believe it.
I really can't. That's beyond belief.
All right, so check back with us and Delbert next week, and see if Scorsese's on. He might.
He might be. If he's not a coward and a fool, he'll be on this show.
I'm gonna try sending an email to martin.scorsese@gmail.com and just see what happens.
We'll see. Who knows? At that point, it's out of our control.
Yeah.
We did the best we could do.
Until then, get a bunch of wheatgrass, crumple that shit on a fucking hot dog, and take a munch. All right, see you next week. Wolvies.
Ooh, nice.
1, 2, 3, 4.
These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that bops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar Wieners. Oscar Wieners. Oscar Wieners. These boys are the Oscar Wieners. Oscar Wieners. This bio is like something that I would put on mine. It's just...
This is cinema. This is cinema. What?
This is cinema. That's
the
so
fuck
good.
does that mean?
That's perfect.
He's got the best profile picture.
That's great. Are you kidding me?
He never posts.
Top 10 widescreen. It'd be funny if he just starts posting. I would love to see him just like just just like shit on movies.
Like, oh wow, he watched Adam Sandler's Click and gave it one
He hated
star.
he hated Click.